The Mediterranean Caravan. The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan. Learning and sharing agroecology.
Trova safrem al pè do fè. Trova safrem al pè do fè. Triste desconsolado. Triste desconsolado.
Welcome back to the Mediterranean Agroecology Caravan podcast. My name is Jocelyn Parot. I am the General Secretary of Urgency, the international network of community-supported agriculture. Last spring, I was lucky enough to take part in a training for agroecology knowledge collectors organized in Belgrade, Serbia. During the trip, I teamed up with Denis Carrel, a shepherd from the southern part of France, and François Guiton, a longtime member of the French AMAP movement. On our way back from the training, we chose to breathe life into the Mediterranean Caravan of Agroecology by identifying groundbreaking agroecological initiatives. From Serbia, we traveled some time to reach Croatia. Our next stop was Recycle the Place, an eco-village, and much more, as you will hear, close to Zagreb. We stopped there for the night and met Alen and Dražen the next morning. Dražen, can you describe a little bit the place where we are now?
We are actually like 25 kilometers south from Zagreb. So this is basically educational center and living place. So for some ZMAG is an association that is running this place. It means in English Green Network of Activist Groups. And now this year we are celebrating 20 years of existence of ZMAG. But the idea for Recycle the States, that is how we call this place, came a few years earlier. Where we started to come here and to building the whole place from the scratch. So there was nothing here, just bare land, and then we started to build first one house, second house, gardens. We learned a lot over that process, and then people also started to buy houses in the village or in the surrounding areas, so to be as close as possible to this main part of the whole idea. But basically, the idea was to have educational center for practice. So we didn't want just to talk about sustainable living or sustainable development, but we realized that there is a missing link for ordinary people. There is so much buzz about sustainable development, but no one knows how to use it. No one knows how to live it, especially at that time, 20 years ago. So we want to be a place of practice, of experiments, laboratory of some creative ideas, trying, making mistakes, trying again. So some that kind of livable place to practice sustainable living, and then eventually people started to buy places for their own living here.
On the site itself, or in the village nearby?
In the village, because on the site itself there was no any more place for so many of us. So now approximately some 15 to 20 houses in the village or in the surrounding areas is occupied by some of our members or friends or workers that are working in ZMAG. But still, some people, ZMAG has 9 employees today, so we are quite good with this kind of development, and 3 people are living in Zagreb and coming here every day. So it is up to them. We are not, like forcing people that they have to live in countryside. It is still depending on your personal choice.
And ZMAG's project seems to be quite holistic with different topics, different sides of this kind of green transition you're advocating for, or that you want to demonstrate and implement in everyday life. Can you describe the different topics you are working on here?
Yes, we are trying to approach to sustainability in a holistic way. We are also using permacultural design here on the site, and also in our main work. We have 4 strategic areas of our work. One is agroecology, another one is natural buildings, third one is good economy or social and solidarity economy, and the fourth one is education for sustainable living, because as I said, we are an educational center, and this is really important for us to be open with all of our knowledge and skills to anyone that want to learn about it or to use it. So we are working a lot in almost all areas that is covered by this transition or sustainability, food, energy, economy, also human relationship, waste management, buildings, natural protection and sustainable use of natural resources, ecological footprint. So these many areas that we are trying to, as I said, practically promote. But now when we are a little bit older and more developed, we are also working a lot, especially with other organizations, on public policies for all these areas, and trying to influence, mainstream, general stream of development to be more fair, more solidarity, more sustainable. So that is also that we started to work.
Dražen, can you explain a little bit more in detail what is happening in the agroecology dimension of your work? I've heard about, you spoke about the permaculture design principles. You also have CSA activities and an activity of collecting seeds, if I understood well.
Yeah. So agroecology is very important for us from the beginning. Actually, when we were coming here for the in first days, we even first started to work in the gardening and on food and not on houses. And then we realized that maybe it is a more wise idea to have somewhere to sleep and then to work, on the gardening. So we have our agroecology practice here in running gardens, food production, orchards, forest. We also have our own forest. So we are combining all that. We are also member of community seed bank network in Europe. So we are collecting local seeds. We are testing it, in the garden on inside, and we are also managing network of Croatian seed savers and organizing. For example, last weekend we had our yearly seed swap fair in Zagreb in botanical garden, city botanical garden. So it was really, as you said, nice weather. It was really nice spring days, even though we really missed this rain and water in the soil. So this is one part. The third part is work, as you said, on community-supported agriculture models. So we are gathering some 15 small eco-farmers mainly around Zagreb, but for some products also from south of Croatia, like agrumes, like oranges, lemons, things like that, olive oils. So we also have some people there. And basically every Thursday people order their boxes through our web application, and every Thursday on 2 spots in Zagreb we are delivering their green boxes. And so with this we are also helping local farmers to survive, as is one of the basic principles of CSA, but not just survive but also to have dignified living for them, and so that they are able to live from their own work. And we are also working a lot on promotion of CSA. We are writing studies, books, reports. We are making research in Croatia about last year we made a research specifically for users and specifically for producers, with what they are happy, what they would like to change, what is the, some data, what is the current situation in Croatia. So we are also a spot for gathering other CSA initiatives in Croatia, and every once per year we have a meeting with all of them here, or now in the last 2 years online. Because of COVID, but we are also trying to take care of this movement, and so we also work a lot on education. We are traveling across whole Croatia with promotion of agroecology and all these specific topics. And we are also, as I said, here on Croatia, but we are also working with others on European and even world based level. Through networking with policies on seeds. We also like to work with urgency as a global CSA network. We are also promoting agroecology approach in our solidarity economy network, RIPES Europe. So these are also streams where we are trying to also to learn something, but also to find the new partners, new allies, and also to promote agroecology.
Dražen,
also we are also working on public policies. As I said, we are working with the Ministry of Agriculture, for example, on seed policies and some other elements. This is also important for us. We are a member of working groups of Ministry of Agriculture, and we are also trying to move them in this direction that is based on agroecology principles and values.
Dražen, as if the COVID-19 crisis was not enough, you also had to face an earthquake here?
Yes. In 2020 we had 2 earthquakes in Croatia. One is more close to Zagreb. We also felt it. It was in spring, but we didn't have any damage. And then at the end of the year, on 29th of December, 20 kilometers south from our place, it was the epicenter, very strong one with 6.3, and it really hits our place a lot. In my house, you still can see some memories from that period. And it was really hard time for us. It was like, resilience in practice. Also, how to overcome this kind of crisis, because we had to, clean the whole place, make some renovation and rebuilding. It is also interesting how it affects every person in different way. So some of our members, it was so shocking event for them, and they wanted to step back, to have some time for themselves, to think about what they want to do in their life. So we also had this, members exchange. Some people wanted to step back. So we need to invite the new ones, and we were closed for 6 months. As I said, we are educational center, and for us it is very important that we are open for public, for learning on sustainability. And we had to be closed 6 months until we finish this whole process of renovation. We had a really amazing support and help from many volunteers, our friends. We even initiated crowdfunding campaigns, so we also got help from Europe, from our partners and also friends from Europe. So this was also a huge support and big light for us in those times.
And now the groups are back now for the educational activities, pedagogical activities. Can you describe the kind of groups you are hosting here?
So we are basically open for everyone that are interested in learning how to, implement sustainability in their life. So we are working, from really kids. We have some festivals for kids here, where we are combining this with the art, sometimes even with the circus, where we are teaching them on sustainability and solidarity and fair relationships. We are working a lot with the schools, for example, primary schools, high schools, also universities. So all those groups are visiting our place. Now we are participating in Food Wave, European project Food Wave, where basically the city of Zagreb is the partner, and we are providing for them educational activities. So this is a project on food and climate connection for youth between 15 and 35 years. So every second weekend we have some. Next weekend we will have also event on about this here in Vukomerić. But we are also working with people that are in mature years or old ones, no matter about their age. We are really open to anyone, and we have quite diverse group of people that are coming here. Many often, people just come here and want to see something, how it is functioning. But as I said, basically now from March, almost every weekend there is some education here, and very often also during the working week we have at least 1 to 2 visiting maybe some educational institution, but also some partners organization. Many of our partners also like to have their own meetings and programs here. So sometimes we are basically, rent the place.
Thank you very much, Dražen. Last question. We are part of the Mediterranean Caravan of Agroecology. Is there a message you want to give to the caravan to be conveyed to the rest of the network, to others who are doing similar activities elsewhere?
Yeah, caravan is always reminding me on visiting many places that are in some way close related. And I think that the message is that we have to work on this connection among us, because it is also our experience. It makes us more resilient, as I said. It can help us in hard times. We can learn from each other a lot, and then basically our whole general goal, making this world better, will be more easy and more present here. So that is my message, and we are basically thankful that we are part of this broader story and broader movement.
Dražen, Shimlesha.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and all the best.
Alen, why was it important for you to start this activity of building in a different agroecological or ecological way?
I started thinking about that maybe 10 or more years ago because I was just tired of the urban living and, this rush in towns. So I decided that I will try to find some way out from this kind of living, like normal job from 8 to 4. And the first time I was living in one eco-village, Blatusha. It's 80 kilometers from here. We start to build houses from straw bales and try to organize some kind of community, which is still, this community is still alive, but I have some different view on how I organize my life. So we start to work, me and my friend from the Blatusha, start to buildings, houses around, and start to cooperate with Matko from the ZMAG, and we decide that it will better if we work together. So in the last 4 years we work together, sharing this knowledge through the schools, and also work this for living. And more people from the towns now decide to leave the towns and living in villages and try to build houses, because the housing in Zagreb and the other towns in Croatia become very expensive.
And sometimes you have like, let's say, very specific commando activity or actions, like building a house in one day.
Well, it's not so easy, Well, we organized few workshops and we built few small houses, like 15-20 square meters, really in 1 weekend with our, I don't know how it called, maybe students or what. So, but the main goal is to teach the people how they can build their own house with cheap materials, and it's not a problem. It's a problem if you really want to build some house, I don't know, 200 square meters, like villas or something, then it's expensive, but it don't need to be like that. If you have friends, cooperation, and with solidarity and recycling material, you can do this not in a day, but in a month, or it depends, about your budget and time you need to spend for that,
And last question, do you have any message to send to the listeners, to those who are doing somehow the same activities in other countries as well?
Well, we need to develop the net between this organization, non-governmental organization, and to sharing these knowledge, and don't be afraid to start your own projects, It doesn't matter if you make some mistake, you can always fix it, and forget the town. And we need to share knowledge and develop solidarity between the people, and this is mostly.
Alen Serovac, thank you very much. Hvala.
The Mediterranean
Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean
The Mediterranean Caravan.
The Mediterranean The Mediterranean Caravan. Learning and sharing agroecology.